Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. Hey, if you are in life, if you are in business, if you are brand new and you are stuck for marketing ideas, then this is the show for you. Okay? We're going to sit here, chat for about 30 minutes on some really good ideas you can use if you are brand new in business, if you're brand new in sales, if you're brand new in marketing. I'm here for it. I'm also here just to help you start off a great Wednesday. So let's get into it, shall we? Go. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. If you're watching on Facebook, go over to YouTube and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, then do me a favor. Go over and subscribe. Either way, find a way to follow us. We do this a couple of times a week, and man, oh man, I have fun doing it, and I get some good comments from people learning. And that's what we're all here about. Better get let's see what happened here. Oh, one of my Facebook streams stopped. Oh, well. Que sera. Software. My software just popped up and said, hey, one of the destinations you want to stream to isn't working. I'm like, what else is new? It's technology, right? Hey, if you are watching live with a cup of something hot in your hand, please drop a comment. Say good morning in the chat. Here's the chat right down here. Good morning. We'll add some extra G's because it's better than putting in 5 exclamation points. Hey, thanks for tuning in. My name is Patrick Allmond, and I run a company here called Stop Doing Nothing Media. And we go live on occasion just to hang out, just to chill, but mostly to answer your questions. We get viewer questions, we get questions via text, we get questions via DM, and those are my favorite kind of content. Those are the kind of things I love, love, love to talk about. Are um, brand new, what was I going to say? Brand new people in the world of sales and marketing. Those are the fun people to talk about because the world is your oyster. You haven't learned any bad habits yet, okay? You haven't become jaded and cynical like me yet in the world of sales and marketing. It's always fun to talk to people who are just getting into this field and aren't jaded and like I said, cynical yet, because it's very easy in our world to be jaded and cynical. And I am a lot of the time jaded. Let's see, what am I? Jaded, cynical. I have to be careful of falling in the trap of being sarcastic sometimes. It's just one of those muscles that I've exercised, unfortunately, and I've gotten very good at being cynical and sarcastic and down in the dumps sometimes. And you have to exercise the other muscles, right? You have to exercise the muscles of motivation and positivity and doing good things. It's one of the reasons I love getting out in the morning. For a walk away from technology. Raise your hand or put something in the comments, maybe just a XOXO. If you're the kind of person that just has to get away from technology on occasion, it just drives you crazy. Just the constant clickety clack, clickety clack, bop, 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 open up website, log in, put in my password, do this, do that, follow up, yada, yada, yada. That, do you know what I'm talking about? That technology thing where you just got 5 windows open and you're just clicking around things and you're editing here and you're fixing here and you're answering this DM and you have to answer this text and you have to work on this automation and you got to fix this website, yada, yada, yada. A lot of people that work in marketing, like I do, have live in that world of constant. I don't want to say, I don't want to use the word buzz. I want to use the word that you're just always fighting. And you know what? I just realized I didn't press go live for Instagram. Yeah, we got to go live on Instagram too. Trying to mess that up. But if you live in that world of tech, let me know in the comments. It's draining sometimes, and you have to force yourself to get away from it. And one of my ways of forcing myself to get away from it is not every single day, but we'll say 80% of the days. I try to get up, and before I get deep into tech, before I'm over on the Reddits and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, catching up, doing my due diligence, doing my marketing as I head out the freaking door. I put on whatever stinky clothes I wore the previous day. If it's dark, I make sure I wear light clothes and I go walking around the neighborhood. I take a break from the technology. I take a break from the news. Don't even get me started on the news and how frustrating that is these days. But one of the absolute best things you can do, and I've already done mine this morning for whatever the watch does. Well, I've got I've got the exercise ring closed, and I've got the stand ring. It looks like I've got 4 hours into the stand ring. So exercise stuff is already knocked out. But you know what? Is my mic literally not working? Do I am I literally You know what? I think the mic's working okay. I just think that there's a little meter here on the screen that's freaking me out a little bit that says, if you're hearing me okay, definitely drop a comment. But there's like a little meter here that's freaking me out a little bit because it's not bumping up and down, but I think we're okay. Yeah, please definitely let me know if you are watching live. But if you are that kind of person that is living in tech, from the moment you wake up, whatever time it is, some of you could be waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of you could be waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Michael, man, good to see you. It's been a minute. Are you hearing me okay, man? I just want to make sure that the audio is coming through okay. Just all the meters aren't bouncing up and down like they should, but some of them are, and that's what I think is important. Is some of these meters are bouncing up and down. Mike is good. Thanks, Michael. Man, I appreciate it. Thanks. You're the only one responding live. I got a few people who watch and don't comment. Good, good, good. So, my goal for today's show is to talk a little bit mainly to people who are brand new in this world of marketing. This is on my mind. I get a lot of my mind. I get a lot of my mind. I get a lot of my ideas for content and for lives from literally user questions, from questions I see in other Facebook groups, and one I've gotten recently, and this is not a marketing tactic. A lot of people will fake getting questions to go into a topic. They'll say, "Oh, I get this question to me. I get this question asked to me all the time," and they'll go off and off and off. And most of the time, that question has never been asked of them. They just wanted a reason to talk about a topic. I have received at least 2 to 3 DMs recently on Reddit of people wanting very basic high level help. For those of you that don't know, High Level is the CRM of which we are a reseller. We do it under the name Playmakers AI, but all the high level resellers, the back end software is the same. Just each of us kind of tweak it and add our features to it. But I've gotten some people on Reddit DMing me, and I can literally show you the DMs of people that just wanted 101 from help on us. They're just brand new to marketing and they're brand new to high level. So they've jumped into two pools on the deep end very, very well. And that's a little bit dangerous because when you buy into a tool and you yourself don't know marketing kind of fair to middling, that's a little phrase we live here in the Midwest. Fair to middling. If you don't know marketing yourself, fair to middling, then buying into a marketing tool ends up being pretty dangerous because you're trying to learn two things at once. And marketing and sales is a head game. It's a psychological game. It's a numbers game. It's a certain way you have to be thinking to do things. And then a tool like High Level, like I said, of which are resellers, it's the same way. You have to get into a certain mindset. And so if you're the kind of person who's trying to dig into both things at once, you are going to get overwhelmed and you're going to throw your hands up in frustration and you're gonna be cursing and you're gonna be, kicking the cat and you're gonna be pissed off at all these things because you are buried trying to learn multiple things at once, and that is never, never a good thing. So I thought today we would talk a little bit about, what to do when you are new, brand new in the world of marketing and specifically high level. So I'm going to cover surface level of basically how do you dip your toe into both. And I've done lives like this before. And this is a topic that needs to be constantly revisited because people are always starting up new businesses. People are always starting up new sales teams and marketing teams. And this information, the noob information, the very basic information, needs to be said over and over and over again because this world of marketing that I'm in, there are people out there, some of them are brilliant, some of them are literal gurus, but they make it seem like you have to go way, way too deep on some of these topics, okay? They make it seem like, okay, it's day one in marketing, so you got to work on your Facebook pixel. You got to, set up conversion tracking. You have to get those reports going. You've got to get this page up. You've got to put out this kind of content. We as gurus are sometimes we want to just push people or grab people and pull them into the deep end of the pool. Today, we're going to be down at the 3 and the 4 foot end of the pool, okay? This is for you if you are just brand new, dipping your toe into marketing. I want to talk to you specifically about two things that you need to be working on if you're brand new in marketing. Okay, this I can't get any simpler than this. Okay, the first one is problem solving. Okay, I've learned this from people because I've made this mistake, and I've been teaching it to others ever since then. If you are in the world of marketing, or if you are running any kind of business, okay, and you are trying to figure out how to bring in leads, how to bring in sales, okay, solve a problem. Solve one problem for one person. Whenever I say that, people kind of squint their eyes and cock their head a little bit. They're like, I don't want to solve one problem for one person. I don't need one client. I need 10 clients. I need 100 clients. Yeah, we all do. We all want lots of clients. But the mindset you have to have when you are out there writing copy, when you're out there doing lives, when you're out there doing your Facebook updates, when you're out there creating a blog post, when you're out there creating your reels or your shorts or whatever kind of content you're creating or your podcast, your mindset should be you want to talk to one person and solve one problem. Now, you can talk to other people and solve the same problem. But the reason I say talk to one person and solve one problem is because your words and your actions have to act like you are talking to a single person at a time. Okay? So when you're building a website copy, act like you're having a conversation with one person at a time. Okay? When you're making a video, act like you were having a face-to-face conversation over coffee with someone at Starbucks, and they have your undivided attention and you have their undivided attention, and they've sat down with you after ordering their double large tall frappe mochaccino with extra sprinkles and syrup all over it, and they've got this monstrosity in front of you. Those things scare the heck out of me. Little cup of diabetes going on right there. Hey, welcome to Starbucks. Here's my little cup of diabetes, right? Write your copy and write all of your marketing like you're just talking to one person at a time. This will improve the copy that you put out. This will improve the words that you generate. If you're going to email 1,000 people on your email list, don't write the email like you are talking to 1,000 people. You write the email like it's a very simple black and white email, no graphics. It's an email that you are using to respond to a single person. Your emails will end up being better and people will feel more like you're interested in them versus the fact that you are just trying to be a mass communicator. And this is true for, keynote speakers also, or speakers on stage, or whenever you're in a group. Give somebody your single undivided attention in your videos. And here's an example, okay? We're going to go, let's go the chiropractic route, okay? We're going to hey, Michael, man, thanks. I appreciate that. I got to love it right here. Michael Copeland is a really brilliant guy who I rely on to learn a lot from, and he put it right here. Talk to me, not you guys. Here's a very simple example. If you're the marketing person for a chiropractor, okay? You would, and to me, it wouldn't be in your best interest if you're a chiropractor to put on, hey, I live in Oklahoma City. Hey, Oklahoma City, we are accepting new patients. The first 100 people that come in get a free yada, yada, yada. I mean, that might work a little bit, but people who want to go to a chiropractor are in pain, literal pain, okay? Not fake pain like, somebody who wants to go to the Gucci store or somebody who wants to buy a Tesla, okay? That's not pain. People that want to deal with doctors and dentists and chiropractors are in straight up pain. And you want to talk about that pain. You want to twist the screws in that pain. Not to be cruel, but you want to say, things like, are you tired of sitting at your desk all day long and having trouble getting up? Are you tired of trying to swing your legs over the edge of the bed this morning and twisting your back and causing yourself to be in pain before you've ever had your first cup of coffee? Are you tired of not being able to lift up your grandkids because the nerve in your lower back is constantly giving you grief and carrying anything more than a 5-pound dumbbell causes you excruciating pain? Are you tired of not being able to go on cruises and limiting your vacations or limiting your physical activities because you have had spinal issues for the past 20 years and no doctor has ever been able to solve those. Okay? When I'm talking about pain, especially in the medical world, I'm talking about literally twisting the screws and reminding the people of the pain that they're in. And because then you are eventually going to roll over into the solution. So if you're a chiropractor, for example, this is what I would do. And I did this actually last night for a different client. I whipped open, I'm on a Mac, and I whipped open a notepad file and I started writing down. As a matter of fact, I can probably pull this up on my Mac while I'm talking to you. I started writing down benefits versus features of the particular offer that we were working on. And this I did outside of a CRM, outside of a formal tool, just a notepad. And I just started typing. I may have had a gummy to let the brain cells relax a little bit. This isn't being recorded or broadcast, is it? Yeah, it is. Who cares? But I basically sit here and I have a notepad file in front of me that basically says, I have a list of you should not statements. You should not have to do this. This particular one was for a business owner. You should not have to do this. You should not have to do this. I have a list of statements, of more statements, and you'll actually see these on the top of my website. I went through this exercise for my own website. You know, one of the things you get from dealing with marketing or dealing with us or dealing with this client is you get more of this and you get more of this. People want more, right? It's our human nature. We want more. We want more time. We want more freedom. We want more flexibility. If I'm a chiropractor, we want to be able to spend time with our family more and lift our kids more. And for those of you that have grandkids, I do not, thankfully yet, as far as I know, we want to do all those things more. If you think about this, a lot of what our human motivation is wanting more of a good thing and less of a bad thing. I think I heard Tony Robbins say it once. Marketing's pretty easy when you remember marketing, self-improvement's pretty easy when you remember people just want more happiness, less pain. They want more of something and they want less of something. So this is a good way for you to start building off like your copy document, if you will, is you talking about someone being happier, someone wanting more. And it may not be a direct benefit, okay? It may be a secondary or a tertiary benefit of using your product or services. But if you start down that road of just, letting the mind flow and just taking notes about what are the benefits, what are the features. You sell benefits, okay? You market benefits, you sell features. Is that how it goes, I believe, right? Either way, whatever your solution is, you don't talk about that much. So if I'm a chiropractor, my ads aren't going to talk about each of the individual, each of the individual spinal, what are those called? Bones. They're all labeled there, L1, L2, whatever those are. I'm not going to talk about those. I'm not going to talk about the technical term from the spine in the lower part of my back that actually does hurt. I'm going to talk about the benefits I get if my back is adjusted, if I go through that electric therapy. By the way, I love that electric therapy the chiropractors do. You know that thing where they put the electrodes on your back and it tenses and releases and tenses and releases the muscles? That is my favorite machine. I would wear that freaking thing 3 or 4 hours a day if I could. When I go to the chiropractor, I get it for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, but man, I miss that. And now I'm talking about chiropractor. Now I want to go to a chiropractor. And how often, what kind of weird person wants to go to a chiropractor? Okay. There's something wrong there. And you can carry this mindset of benefit statements and feature statements and helping people get more and more and more of something, or helping people get less and less or fewer of something over into other fields. Okay. Do you sell cars? You know what? It would not be hard for me to sit down with you for half an hour and come up with a notepad file of the benefits of a new car: reliability, safety for your family, the pleasure of not worrying about whether or not your car is going to break down if you drive it for more than an hour, the freedom of being able to go lots of places and explore the city or the country you're in. Okay, forget that. We've talked about chiropractors. We've talked about, car dealers. Pick another field. Okay, pick. I got my pilot's license a while back, and one of the things I'm interested in is aviation marketing, especially for flight schools. And a lot of people that go into aviation were like me. They were a kid and they just dream about looking up in the sky and seeing planes fly overhead. Those guys are magical. Those guys are gods. The guys that control those things, airplanes are magical. I've had that feeling ever since I'm not going to say ever since I could walk, but probably in elementary school is when I started kind of casting my eyes towards the skies up there. So if I were in aviation school, and I know there is somebody, by the way, in the world of high level that does sell aviation marketing, guys, brilliant. If I want to sell, trying to get kids into my aviation school, I'm going to sell, remember that dream that you had when you were 10. Think about the freedom that having your own pilot's license gets you. Are you technical minded? Well, guess what? Flying and everything around it, there's a lot of technical stuff there. Are you someone who loves math and you loved putting your math skills to good use? Become a pilot. There's a decent amount of math in piloting, okay? I have to do it every single time I fly. I have to do weight and balance calculations. I have to calculate my route. I have to calculate my fuel burn. So if you're someone who likes doing math problems like that, come join our flying school. Get a free 1 hour demo flight. Okay. And I've gotten to the point now, I'm not going to say I'm amazing, but I've gotten to the point now that if I look at each different field, it's not too hard for me to sit down and come up with benefit statements and feature statements. Okay. Again, you always have to remember that you have to make it very simple. What do people want more of that come to your business? And what do people want less of when they come to your business? Okay. Maybe getting a pilot's license makes you less average. Okay. Maybe it makes it so you can finally do something with all those great, math skills you picked up in high school and college and graduate school. Maybe you're someone who becomes a pilot because you love animals and you love helping people, and you want to get your pilot's license to do something called Angel Wings. Angel Wings is a program in the world of aviation. It's a voluntary program where you basically can just use your pilot's license and you can fly people to medical appointments and get them to their medical appointments there and back faster than them driving and at no cost on their part. So let's say, for example, I'm in Oklahoma City and someone needs a treatment in down in Dallas. Okay, in the world of Angel Flight or Angel Wings, I think it's Angel Flight. It's not Angel Wings. It's Angel Flight. I knew that was wrong. I could get my pilot's license. One of the benefits of me having my pilot's license is I can actually help people and I can help dogs and cats too. They have angel flights for animals too. But if there was a lady here who needed, a 1 hour cancer treatment, and it was going to be really taxing on her family to all kind of leave work, get in the car, do the 3 or 4 hour drive down to Dallas, deal with the treatment, deal with the traffic, and then fly back up here, you know what? They could ask for an angel flight from the local angel flight association, okay? And with the local angel flight association, they just basically tell me, the pilot, where they want to go, and I put them in the plane. We run down there completely for free. I pay for the fuel myself, let them do their thing, and run them back here. Flying, I don't remember how long it takes me to fly to Dallas. In a commercial plane, it takes right around 30 minutes. And so in my small private plane, it's probably closer to an hour, hour and a half, but it's still faster than being on the road. It's a much better view, okay? And it's probably much more comfortable for the patient. You can very easily sleep when I'm flying, okay? And again, I can go on and on and on. But this is one of the first things you have to remember. I was talking about, 101 stuff. We really want to overcomplicate stuff in the world of marketing and sales. I have been 100% guilty of this. I have woken up in a panic sweat thinking of all the 20 or 30 things I have to do to establish my marketing picture. When I do that, hopefully sometimes I, figure out what grounds me back to the basics. What can I help somebody provide more of, and how can I help them provide less of something else? Or when they're talking to their end user clients, how can I provide them, how can I basically help them come up with their more statements? You want more of this, more of this, more of this, or you want less of this, less of this, less of this. I've gotten pretty good about, going to a Starbucks with somebody with a notepad file um, and whipping out these statements. It's not hard. There were two things I wanted to cover for you when it came to Marketing 101. The first one was that right there. It's coming up with a very simple solution, talking one-on-one to somebody that has a problem, okay? If you iron that out, everything else becomes easier. Your social media becomes easier. Your emails, your text messages, your content, that stuff all becomes easier, okay? So, very simple offer. That's your advice, number one, from Patrick today in Playmakers, okay? Come up with a very simple offer to solve someone's pain. Get that out there and then work on the next one. The next one is, after the very simple offer, is someone who's brand new in the world of business, you need exposure. Offer exposure. Exposure by any means necessary, okay? In an ideal world, you would have a team that would run your social media, run your content, run your marketing, run your ads, okay? We do that for clients very much on the high end. It's not a cheap service, but it's very much worth it. We will take that off your hands. And that's not a plug. I'm just telling you what we do. But when you are just starting off, you don't have a lot of resources, okay? You don't have a lot of financial resources. You don't have a lot of time resources. There are just things that you just have, you basically are kind of out there on your own. You're winging it, okay? What you can do is try to find ways to generate exposure on your own for free by any means necessary. Now, how do you do that? Let's cover the classics. If it were me and somebody said, I have no budget, but I need exposure. So, number one, I would establish some home bases for my content for me to generate exposure, okay? To me, exposure means showing someone that you know what you're talking about. And it has to be, to me, it has to be more than a simple web page. So I love video, for example, okay? Obviously, I love video. Your job when you have no budget, in my opinion, is to basically educate people on what you do. Oh, goodness gracious, excuse me. Using as many free tactics as you can find. Oh my goodness, Patrick, that's embarrassing. So, videos and blogs, okay? Videos and blogs are two great ways to get started of training people on what you do, allowing you to spend zero money. So again, here's a moneymaker tip for you. If you're someone who's brand new in marketing, you have no budget, but you want to start using social media, YouTube, and your website. Okay. Number one, I would make sure I have a domain for my website. And I know that sounds ridiculous that you have to say that in 2025, but you 100% have to say it in 2025. Do not rely on a site that is what's called a subdomain. So it's like your business name.substack.com. That's an example right there, okay? Or yourname.wordpress.com or yourname.gohighlevel.com. Buy a domain. $10 a year. You know what? Can't afford the $10 a year? Text me. Maybe I'll buy the freaking domain for you if I'm in a good mood, okay? Buy a domain, get a website up, start a YouTube channel. Start blogging, start making videos that you can repurpose into blogs. Share those on social media. If you have an abundance of time and not an abundance of money, you should, on a regular basis, be creating educational materials and sharing them on social media for your prospects to read and watch. Okay? I'm kidding you not. That's one of the reasons I do these videos right here. Is I do these videos and then I will repurpose the content into something that that can be consumed another way via a podcast or a blog or something like that. So again, if you have no resources and you have an abundance of time, you should be waking up at least 3 times a week, creating an educational video, 5 to 10 minutes, talking about your service, putting that video on YouTube, then embedding that video over on your website. And then if you want to get really fancy, take the text out of the video and put it in the blog post to basically help your search engine optimization. Okay. We use a tool called Descript for that. And I am going to put a link to our resources page. Let me find it here for you. A link to our resources page that that has an affiliate link to Descript, but you do not have to use our Descript affiliate link. But I'm sorry, I absolutely love Descript for this. And the reason I love Descript is because it doesn't require you to be a text or a video editing expert. If you can edit text, you can use Descript. Descript has a ton of features that we use every single week for our content. And by the way, the entire point of this video was not Descript. I seriously love this tool and I use it daily. If you put your content through Descript and you want to edit it, Descript allows you to do it this really cool way where you're editing your text. So one of the daunting things about when you generate video content is it has to be edited. So you drop that video into Final Cut Pro, into any number of video editors out there. Okay, there's a ton of great video editors out there. There's no shortage of them. I especially like the ones that run on the iPad. Those are very cool. And then all of a sudden you're doing that thing where you're sliding up and down and you're slicing this and you're slicing that and you're trying to take out chunks and you see, oh, I messed up this area here. I wish I could repeat that sentence, or I need to just remove that altogether. And it's very hard with that little what's it called? That little razor blade, okay? That's called linear editing, okay? If I'm not mistaken, that's called linear editing. And it can be very frustrating, and you really have to get good at whatever the tool is. And like I said, the Mac comes with iMovie. You can buy Final Cut Pro. On the iPad, there's one called LumaFusion, which I absolutely love. But these days, I'm using, let me see, what am I using a lot when it comes to video editing? It's all the Blackmagic products because they're free. So I don't know. I'm looking here to see which product that would be so I can recommend it to you. But that's the video editor that I use. Is it Blackmagic? I'm looking for it. Oh, DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve. I love me some DaVinci Resolve because it's a free video editor. Okay. Anyways, you're gonna have to learn a video editor eventually. The nice thing I love about Descript is you're actually just editing text. I showed this to somebody 2 days ago on a prospect call, and they came to us wanting some work. And in Descript, after you record your video, your educational video, your content, it drops you into an editor. It transcribes all the audio over into text, okay? And then I love this. And then you edit the text. You highlight stuff. You highlight words you want to remove. You tell the editor, remove all my ums and ahs, and the thing will go through and remove all the ums and ahs and will modify the video appropriately. Is there something you said, or did you put a curse word in there you didn't want in there? You highlight the curse word in the text and you hit delete and it edits the curse word out of the video. Did you say a sentence and you said it a second time better than the first time, but you want to take that first one out of there? Go highlight that first version of the sentence, take it out. When I make my videos these days with Descript, one of the things I do is if I'm in the middle of recording a video and I make a mistake, I pause, I leave a gap there for editing, and I say the sentence again. So if I said, let's say I wanted to, let's say I want everyone to have a great effing day, okay? Assume I put the curse word in there. And then as in the process of doing that, I'm like, oops, I can't have that. I would pause during my recording process and say, make sure everyone has a great, grand, glorious day. Go be blessed. That could all be in one video, but when I'm in Descript, I can highlight the bad take and take that out, and it instantly edits the video. So over at our website, Stop Doing Nothing Media, there's a partners page. I also put the link here. You can use my affiliate link. You don't have to use my affiliate link, but go take a look at this editor called Descript. It's just freaking amazing, especially if you're someone who does social media type stuff, because it'll take long form, 16:9 content like this right here, and it'll turn it into social media reels, social media shorts. It'll do that cool thing in YouTube where it generates what's the word it does? Oh, it generates the time hacks on there, okay? So please check out Descript. It's a very, very cool tool. So my lesson for you today, as I was thinking about this video, is to teach you and remind you of two things you need if you have no marketing resources. One, solve a problem. Actually, I think I ended up talking about three. The first one kind of was learn how to talk to people in all of your content one-on-one, okay? Just learn how to talk to people in all of your content one-on-one. Number two was solve their problem. Find a single pain point, lock it in really tight, and just twist that screw over and over and over and talk about that pain point and how you solve that pain point. And the third one, the accidental one, well, those first two are kind of going to be combined when I thought about the outline of the show. The third one is, goodness gracious, exposure. And a lot of exposure you can do for free podcasts, free video series, free blog posts. I like to tell people who come to me and ask me this, which one should they start with? If you can handle video, I always say start with video, because you can start with video and then repurpose using Descript. Am I right? You can repurpose it into blog post content. You can repurpose it into a podcast. You can repurpose it into social media. Okay. You can do all that if you start with video. The challenge with that is video tends to be one of the harder things for a lot of people to do. Not everyone is comfortable on camera. So maybe you can go one step down and maybe you just do audio recordings. Because if you do audio recordings, then you can use those in podcasts and you can turn those into blog posts and then embed the podcast on your website. But if you can handle video, 100% go with video and record it in Descript or record it in your own local software and edit in Descript if you want. Okay? Exposure and solve one problem for one person and pretend like you're talking to one person at a time. Hopefully this has been useful. As always, you can text the number on the screen right there, 405-217-4752, if you want our help or you want to talk about, getting involved in the world of Stop Doing Nothing Media or Playmakers. Either one, I'll take you. I would love to talk to you. And I'm a very no-pressure salesperson. Get on Zoom. We'll chat about life, maybe airplanes, maybe bourbon, and then maybe we'll talk some marketing. And you know what? No hard feelings if you walk away. I just love talking with people about this stuff. You have a great, great Wednesday. It's 9:36 U.S. Central Time. Time for me to polish off the coffee and get ready for my first 10 o'clock call. You have a great day, my friend, and thank you for watching. We will see you on the next show.